So it seems we've had a visitor last night, or a couple of visitors, I'm not too sure. And they're obviously quite into their, how do I say this? Their artwork. Happy Monday morning, people. I just wanted to say, to start the week off in a good way, was to say massive thank you for last night. We did the first ever live, YouTube live, and I had a mega good time doing it, actually. I probably had too much fun doing it. I don't think, yeah. I enjoyed doing it. It was brilliant, and it was nice chatting to some of you, which I hadn't chatted to before, so I just wanted to say thank you to all those who jumped on, asked a question or two, and all that good stuff. It was brilliant. Anyway, this week Portugal goes into partial lockdown, so we're going to see what happens. But anyway, I've got it. What? Hoochie, I don't know if any of you remember, but Hoochie says, when are we getting this Cookie and Hooch merch on the go? I don't know. Soon, maybe. We'll see. In all honesty, it's not been the best start to the day. I'm going to show you why. I'm just recording this in here quickly because it's blowing a hoolie outside, so you probably won't be able to hear me gob off. What I'll do is I'll take you outside real quick and then we'll come back in. Okay? Let's go. So, last night, it seems, boys, oh, need my flip-flops. Stay there, boys. Ugh. So it seems we've had a visitor last night, or a couple of visitors, I'm not too sure. And they're obviously quite into their, how do I say this? Their artwork, because they decided to leave some artwork on our van. So there you go. Look at that for a piece of art. They very kindly did that on the driver's side. They've obviously attempted to do something. I'm not sure if you're able to see that actually. On the window there, and then if we come around to the front, they did that on the front for everyone to see as well. I'm presuming that's supposed to say, I'm presuming they got their spelling wrong on that, so you know, if you are going to swear in a foreign language, at least try and spell it right. But yeah, pretty threaders. I'm going to jump back in because, like I said, it's blowing a hoolie, and then yeah, we'll have a bit of a chat about it, shall we? Anyway, let's go. Oh, we're in. Crikey, it is blowing a hoolie. Yeah. There we go. Right. Bear with me, people. I've got to set this up. Now, you're in for a bit of a treat as well, because the Enigma is going to be in shot. I don't know if we can keep calling Gibbo the Enigma if she keeps appearing in shot like this. Can you see me? Oh, you're a bit high. Yeah. There we go. How's that? That'll do. Right. So, oh, no water. So basically, I'll spin the dit real quick. I woke up this morning with a bit of a headache. So I said to Gibbo, like we took the boys out for a walk this morning on the beach, and then I said to Gibbo, I'm just gonna get my head down for just like half hour, and Gibbo was said, "Oh, that's cool." She's gonna do some yoga, and then there was a little bit, not quite commotion as such, but she said there was because another van lifer stayed here last night, a Frenchie, and then they were just over the way over there, and them and it must have been like maybe a couple of local people were chatting, and they were pointing towards our van, and Gibbo noticed that van life, or that van had, or the French van had a bit of graffiti on it, and Gibbo was like, oh, I hope they've not thought we've done it or something. But anyway, they've driven off, and Gibbo's give me a shake, and she said, look, I'm just gonna go outside real quick and check, because I've got this honking feeling that there might be graffiti on our van. So obviously I said, all right, I'll come with you. And then, as you've already seen there is a bit of graffiti, isn't there, kid? Yes. Apparently, on the one on the side of the van means shit, and then obviously they've gone for the English translation on the front. They've not quite managed it, but you know, 10 out of 10 for effort and all that. So yeah, basically I just wanted to do this real quick to kind of let you know how we're feeling, really, because my immediate thoughts, because there's no point getting angry about it, because one, it doesn't achieve anything right now. We don't know who it was. We wouldn't, you know, it's not like we can find out who they are. It could be anyone, and getting angry about it, even though that's probably my default setting to something like this happening, it doesn't help. So granted, I'm fucking threaders, I will say that.
I think we're a bit shocked.
Yeah.
Surprised, shocked, because it's the first time anything like we've experienced a really negative reaction, I think.
So the first thing is, I would say, take a positive out of negative. Gibbo's on screen talking, so that's good. But yeah, you know what, Gibbo's absolutely right. We've been doing van life for over a year, and we've never, I can't think of anything where we've had, like, you know, anything like this. So we're shocked. We're threaders. Now my mind goes to obviously the why. Like, why's this happened to us and to the other van? I can only put it down to maybe two reasons. One is this is like a big surf area, and we have seen when we looked at Park for Night other surf areas or other camping areas. And they're not too fan of wild camping, of people camping, and that's the risk you take. Granted, I appreciate that. But whenever we've read reviews for other locations where people have tried to stay the night, is people have knocked on the door and said, look, you can't stay here, guys. This is, you know, for whatever reason, you can't stay here. Yeah, happy days, and they move on. We have visited the beach, albeit very briefly, about 40 minutes away, and it's quite a big beach, and on the walls leading into the beach was like camper vans out and all that. So, you know, we didn't even visit that beach ultimately. We went there, seen that, turned around, didn't even want to stay the day. We were like, we're out of it, you know, atmospherics and all that good stuff. So I can only think the first reason is locals are threaders with people wild camping. You know, us ourselves, when we've parked up at certain places, there is a lot of gash everywhere. So, you know, and unfortunately, the blame gets put on van lifers leaving rubbish everywhere. You know, I'm not saying some van lifers don't do it, because ultimately they probably do. But a lot of people in cars, boy racers, just anybody might leave rubbish around, or they might be caught short and they've gone to the toilet in a bush or something. Now, I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying it's not always van lifers, and we get the fucking hard press for it, alright? So I understand people get threaders, I do get it. And I think, and I've got a feeling that's probably why this has happened. They've probably seen two vans parked up on this massive car park where we're not doing any harm to anyone. You know, we're self-contained in here. We've got toilets, we've got bins. There's even there's big bins out there, so we put our rubbish in there. It's perfect. The other reason I can only think of this is the whole COVID thing. So, is this a case of, we're travelling, obviously the other van was a Frenchie, so you can tell they're French by their number plates. Is this a case that the locals have got it into their head that we are spreading COVID, or being very irresponsible by travelling while this pandemic, this so-called pandemic, is taking place? Now, it doesn't matter what your thoughts are on the pandemic, whether you believe it's real, not real, or the politics behind it. We don't believe that we travelling are spreading this disease, this virus as such. And I can't blame Portuguese people. Oh, it's Portugal, because back in the UK, if you remember correctly, when the first lockdown happened back in March, a lot of van lifers and part-time van lifers were getting targeted by Brits who were doing, wiping all sorts of rubbish on people's door handles and graffitiing, and I even read a couple of times that there was, like, you know, they were threatening to burn people in their vans and that. Like, so it's not, I'm not having a go at Portuguese people, because us ourselves have been, you know, Brits do it to other Brits in vans. But that's the only other thing I can think, that maybe they're seeing us, that we're being really irresponsible, and we are spreading this virus. To which obviously we don't think we are. You know, we still follow all the rules, whichever country we've been in. We follow the rules, we wear masks, we social distance. van life can actually be quite a solitary existence, I would probably say, because we're not going out mixing with people. You know, we go to the beach. We are in our own little bubble as 4, you know, souls here. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm Threaders, to be honest. Gibbo's Threaders. Are you Threaders, Gibbo?
Yeah, well, it's our home. It's like, you know, it's our van, and you know, while we were sleeping, somebody was, you know, graffitiing.
Yeah,
you know.
that's exactly it. This isn't like, you know, this is someone has literally spray painted our little home. So even, you know, not even thinking about the financial implications, like we've now got to deal with this somehow, or we might have to get like, I don't know, worst case scenario, we have to get the whole van sprayed. Obviously, you know, that is a worst case scenario, but it still ultimately costs money and inconvenience. So it is, I think that's more the thing, isn't it? Like someone did that to our little home while we've been sleeping. Now, the first thing I'd say is, if you're looking for guard dogs, don't get Cavalier King Charles, because they don't guard the house. In fairness to them, as you can tell, it's been really windy all night. There's been a bit of rain, so anyone outside could have snuck up and done this, you know, and that. The one thing I will say now is it's put a real taint or a real kind of downer on this area. Like,
we don't feel welcome, so we do, you know, we're or safe, or, you know,
we don't, like, you know. And those of you who have, you know, who watch the channel regularly, or who were there on when I did the live stream on Sunday, I was singing this place's praises. I love this area. I think this area is absolutely amazing. It's got a real laid back vibe to it. The surf is great. The weather's been amazing generally. It's such a nice place. And, you know, for lockdown, because Portugal goes into the partial lockdown on the 4th, we were like, you know what a great place to kind of, you know, lay low as such for the partial lockdown. So it's put a real dampener on, and I think now, to be honest, I think we'll probably move on. We'll start making our way down south, and you know, yeah, I just I don't think there's much more to add, is there? I think we're just generally shocked, and like I said, there's no point getting angry about it. There's no point. Yeah, it's just because there's nothing we can do. So, moving forward, then we need to get rid of the spray. So we've had a quick Google. We have got white paint with us, the paint which we keep for the walls inside, just to give it a touch up. We obviously don't want to do that because it'll look gash. That being said, we don't want to go and take it into a garage and get, you know. So we're going to go to one of the biggest supermarkets. We're going to get paint thinner. Was it, Gibbo?
Yeah, paint thinner.
We're going to get a bit of paint thinner because it is fresh on last night, this graffiti. So we'll do that, and hopefully that'll help. But I'll leave it with this, just for this little bit. I'm pretty gutted, to be honest. I'm pretty gutted, just by, you know, the disrespect of doing that to someone else's property is, you know, is just it blows my mind, to be honest. But anyway, what can you do? It is what it is. Let's move forward. And anything else to add, Gibbo? Get different dogs.
Yeah, better guard dogs.
Get better guard dogs. Sorry, Cook. But anyway, yeah, let's go clean this graffiti off. Thank you for listening to us rant as well. Appreciate it.
Russ's idea is,
if you can't beat them, join them. Let's have a bit of fun with graffiti in it.
no, just get the white stuff.
Oh, I was going to say let's just add to it. But where's the white stuff? It's an idea. If all else fails, all right, I think that could work. stripper, baby. Paint stripper. Alright, so we went into a place called Intermarché looking for paint stripper. Paint thinner? Paint stripper?
Thinner.
Whatever we were looking for, but they didn't have it. So, as with any good run, we got some sponges, some poo bags for the boys, and then this, can't remember what the English name for this is, basically a sun reflector for the van. So, all in all, we didn't get what we wanted, but we come out with some good little gizzards, actually.
Look who's in the front, sorry.
Oh, is he?
Yes, naughty.
You're not supposed to be there.
Oh, dear.
What's that? You're keeping guard of the van. Bit late now, mate, innit? Hey, Mr. C, what's going on, bro? Should we get Mr. Right, so we popped in and we couldn't find. We were gonna go with like paint thinners and that, but we quickly Googled it and it said like fairy liquid might work. So we bought the kettle and look at this, fairy liquid and a tiny amount of elbow grease, and it's coming off. So you know what? You don't know how happy this makes me that I'm able to do this with fairy liquid, because even when we were driving then, we were getting a few ropey looks. So actually I'm quite happy with this, and if I'm being honest, I'm actually quite surprised. I thought it'd be a lot harder to get off than this. Still doesn't excuse the fact I'm shocked in threaders, but I'm quite pleased this is coming off. So I'm doing the small bit, Gibbo's gonna do the big bit on the side. So I'll take over the camera work then, Gibbo. So it's not perfect, but me and Gibbo got it clean. All I'm gonna say, right, Portuguese graffiti artist, 0. The Nomadic Veteran Team, 1. Yes. If you've been wondering where I've been surfing all week, check it out. Woo. So it's been a few days since the incident, and obviously you would have seen that we've managed to get the graffiti off and all that good stuff. And I just wanted to wrap up the video and tell you actually what happened since. So you've seen that we cleaned it off, and actually when we still had the graffiti on, we even had a couple of Portuguese people come up to us and be like, "Who's done this?" And they were really apologetic, even though it wasn't them. Or it might have been them actually. They might have been like just bragging and rubbing it in our faces. But it was generally, they were like, "We're really sorry this happened to you." They didn't, you know, and at one point, like I was speaking to this one guy and he was really sorry and he said, "I'm so sorry this happened." And I jumped back in the van to speak to Gibbo, and even I got a little bit, I wouldn't say tearful. I would say, I was a little bit like, I'd say like, it meant a lot that somebody took the time to be like, "I'm really sorry this happened to you," and I was like, "Fucking hell."
Yeah.
So, yeah, and
It was
that.
me that got tears.
No, you know, I was just like, you know, I was quite like, it was a nice thing for that dude to do. Anyway, that led us to believe, or that led us to kind of start thinking, because the graffiti came off really easily. One, we think it might have been because the van was so dirty,
Yeah.
and that helped. And two, did we overreact? Were we a little bit like melodramatic? Like, is it that big a deal? Because ultimately the graffiti came off quite easily. So I fully endorse fairy liquid to get graffiti off. But were we melodramatic? Were we overreactive? We were obviously very emotional in that moment, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it actually. I still feel like it was a really nasty thing for someone to do, regardless of whether it comes off easily or came off easily. But so yeah, there is always that.
I think because it came off so easily, maybe that's affected the way we feel about it. So maybe that's why we think we've been melodramatic, because it just came off.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I even got in touch with a good friend of mine, Bry, who's got he's a car detailing dude. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, up in Scotland, and he's like one of the best. So shout out to Bry, an immaculate detailing, I think is the way to say it, or not. But I got in touch with him. I was like, dude, we've had someone graffiti the van, and he was like, first of all, he was like, bastards. And then he gave us a few tips and that. So I'm really shocked that Very Liquid did the job.
Yeah.
Anyway, as they say, all's well that ends well. We've had a really nice week. All right, we've not vlogged much about it. We've just kind of kept ourselves to ourselves this week. Next week we are visiting Lisbon, so I'm going to be doing a lot of vlogging next week. At least aim to show you around Lisbon. And also, in case you were wondering, obviously Portugal went into a partial lockdown. Nothing's really changed. Everything is still open. Everyone screws a nut, wears a mask, social distance, but nothing's closed. It's just carry on as you were. But anyway, we just wanted to wrap the video up here because it is Sunday. It's beautiful surf weather, so I want to get out there, so hence I'm trying to get this done. And that's about it. Gibbo, any last points on our week? Because she's getting better on the camera. She's even on the camera. So any points? No. That is it? Is that it? It is. Right, hello, have you got any points? Hey, have you got any points? Good boy. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do what he says. What? If you enjoyed this video, Hoochie, 1 second, come on. Well, we talked about this. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, please. If you'd like to make a comment, you know what, you can talk about what we talked about earlier in the video, whether we should be traveling, whether that was the reason for the graffiti, were we being overly emotional, were we being melodramatic? Please leave a comment. If you want to share the video, please share it. It really helps the channel, and of course, subscribe to the channel and ring that little notification bell thingy-me-jiggy, and then you get alerted to when we drop a video. And that would mean the world to me, to Gibbo. Just do it for the dogs, if anything. Poor Cookie and Hooch. Anyway, that is it, and we'll see you next week. Later.